Somebody today reminded me of the wonderful ritual of light exercise given by Olive Pixley. And a few people have asked me about this over the years, so I thought it would be nice to give a reading of the exercise for people who'd like to practice it themselves. So this is from a document I have about it, and this is the original exercise that's going to be given. The development of spiritual consciousness is a process similar to that of physical growth, and is brought about by the training in and practical application of the technique in light. Its purpose is to expand the capacity of our minds that they will become able to register instantaneous contact with the divine light. If we want electricity in our house, we have first to get it wired. The technique corresponds in the body to the right wiring process in the house and enables the body to receive in a flash the divine spark of eternal life energy. When you wake in the morning, lie relaxed in every joint, and especially in the head. Then think of a radiant figure of light at your feet, with the soles of your feet touching the soles of this figure. This contact with the feet is the necessary earth for divine power to spark through the body. Once you have earthed your figure of light, it is there as a light to your path for the rest of the day. The next second, send your vision soaring upwards until you see above you an infinite point of light, which is God. That point is the station from which inspiration and revelation can be flashed into your mind throughout the day, whenever you choose to refocus your mind upon it. Having now your earth and your mental focusing point, instantaneously think of a flashing circle from the right of your head, round the head of the figure of light, back to your own head, thus completing the circle. The radiant image of Christ sanctifies your feet for the day's activity, and your mind is made capable of receiving inspiration. Whether it does so or not depends on you. This ritual must be a daily renewal of strength, our daily bread of life. Don't let the mind wander or dwell lingeringly. Let it flash and then finish. This trains our minds to spark, for one cannot meditate on or contemplate a flash of lightning. One must not linger on any part of the technique in light. It is a quickening process in every sense of the word, and should be done so quickly that even the busiest people can spare a flashing moment every morning for the reception of their daily bread. The second part of the exercise is conscious breathing. Our first understanding of the Christian initiation comes from our conscious breath. Physical breathing, which is the rhythm of our physical life, is largely unconscious. But conscious breathing, which will bring into being the rhythm of our eternal life energy, must definitely be visualized and can never be an automatic or unconscious condition. In this, and every one of the exercises to follow, remember that when you visualize breath and light, you are actually creating them in invisible substance, though they will not become visible to ordinary sight. You have just carried out the ritual of light, so that having visualized your circle and figure of light and your infinite point of light, they are really there. Continue to lie completely relaxed, the palms of your hands still up, the feet resting against the figure of light, and see your infinite point of radiance above you. Then inhale an ordinary physical breath, and at the same time, visualize breath going down outside the body from the solar plexus to the feet. Exhale, and breath going straight from the solar plexus to the infinite point above you. This completes the process of conscious breathing. Take 6 conscious breaths in this manner every morning, immediately after performing the ritual of light. You may do more if you feel that you need them, but do not linger over them and get involved in thought. Let your physical breathing be perfectly normal and try to do it as rhythmically as possible. The breath which you visualize looks just like ordinary breath as you see it on a cold morning. Do not think yourself into any unreal or mystical surroundings, but see yourself lying in bed as you really are. The Christian initiate must be more sane, more balanced, more real than the average person. She or he has to attain a plus condition of power and consciousness in the very midst of his or her ordinary surroundings. Do not, therefore, look for mysterious results or psychic sensations. The results will appear, in due course, in the day-by-day experiences which are provided by our circumstances. They will vary with each person, but will bring to each a knowledge of him or herself as they really are, and an awareness of their divine capacities. Do not expect the results to be repetitive. The life of the initiate does not go round in a circle, but in an upward spiral of progressive experience. The exercise should be done in the morning as a regular routine, but need not be limited to that time of day. Any time during the day when you are worried, uncertain, annoyed, whether you are sitting, standing, or moving, take a few conscious breaths, and you will find your equilibrium returning. You cannot think of anything else when you are visualizing the fusing of your breath with the divine, and you can thus transcend, at least for one brief moment, the pressure of material care. Use it at night also if you are sleepless, and it will help you to sleep without worry or fear. The third part of this is called the Armour, A-E-U. Now comes the first preparation of our bodies to receive in full consciousness the creative force of God. Look well at the illustration, and you will see that this exercise will bring the light from the feet of the figure of light through the insteps in a straight line to your hands. The figure of light is already there, for you have visualized it and made a contact with it and the infinite point of light through your conscious breathing. Now turn your hands palms down, with elbows slightly bent outwards and continue to be completely relaxed. On an ordinary, inhaling breath, breathe the sound ah, and on that sound, visualize yourself drawing from the feet of the figure of light through your insteps and up to each of your hands a ribbon of vivid white light. Keep the light in your hands while you breathe out gently on the sound meh. Draw up on the ah. The light is fully in your hands, and the third meh retains it there finally. Now, draw the light from hands to elbows on the sound A, and from elbows to throat on the sound E. This is done on one inhaling breath, as quickly or as slowly as you please. From the throat on the sound ooh, and as long an out breath as you can. Send the light up to your infinite point of light. Do this also 3 times. As it reaches the infinite point, realize that it fuses instantaneously with the divine light. It is the beginning of that oneness in light of which the Christ spoke when he said, "I and my Father are one." It is the first conscious offering of our spirits, and the first step towards the understanding of and a cooperation with the divine force we call prayer. A as in day, E as in me, U as in zoo. The 4th section is called Shafts of Light. This exercise has a 2-fold nature. It first eliminates old and undesirable reactions, and having freed you from these, it brings to your hands a very important feeding substance in light. After you have drawn the light to your feet, hands, arms and throat in the Armour exercise, keep quietly relaxed, holding the feet in the same position, but turn the hands over so that the palms lie upwards. Then, as a preparation for what you will receive, eject through your head to your feet on a short staccato sound of ah, ooh, ah, ooh. All the unwanted elements of your being, clearing it as a ramrod clears a gun. Do this emphatically, repeating the sound as often as you need, so that you feel it travelling through your body and out through both feet into the figure of light. Now visualize 2 shafts of white light, the ends standing in your hands and the point stretching up to infinity. It is, as it were, the base of a triangle that rests in your hands with the apex outside your range of vision. When you have thought these shafts of brilliant whiteness into your hands, start your conscious breathing, seeing your inhaling breath go to your feet and your exhaling breath rise from your solar plexus between the shafts. As your breath ascends, the softest petals of peach-colored light come down the shafts into the palms of your hands and are at once absorbed by them. We have to realize the different substances of these two lights: intense shining whiteness and the softness like a snowflake of the peach light. The petals travel down the shafts at varying speeds, slowly with some people, quickly with others. Do not worry if you do not see them at all. Do not concentrate. You cannot make yourself see them. Just know that by consciously thinking, your spirit is working through your mind and receiving its food and strength. And day by day, your awareness will grow and our capacity to receive divine instruction will increase. Do this exercise as long or as short a time as you wish. And finally, the needs. This exercise is one of prayer as it functions in light. It is not mental prayer, but a swift sending up of requests from the heart on our conscious breathing to the infinite point of radiance. It does not need an illustration, as it is less an exercise than an intimate and personal experience. After the shafts exercise, and before you sit up, extend the arms with your palms still upwards and let the feet drop gently. Visualize a rushing up of white light from hands and feet and head, and you will find yourself lying surrounded by walls of light, stretching up to infinity, and you are aware of utter privacy and seclusion. Next, visualize a rim of light round your heart, and know that a chalice of gold light lies within it, the rim only being visible. Now, quite clearly and definitely, think of the personal needs of every material kind that you are going to meet in the day ahead of you. Material needs such as health, money perhaps, something specially urgent like a house or domestic help. Then consider such needs as the power to make wise decisions in any problem that may come up, to remain poised in all circumstances, to deal with other people. Be very clear and definite, but as quick as you can. Do not brood over your wants. Put each need as you think of it in the chalice in your heart. Then think too of the specific needs of your family and friends. When you have put all your own and their needs into the chalice, send it up on a deep conscious breath between your walls of light to the Father. The needs will be dealt with, and the empty chalice returns to your heart. Secondly, pray for all those whom you know and love who have passed on. Pray that their needs may be supplied, that your love may be used to help them, and theirs to help you. When you have finished, send the chalice up again on a conscious breath. Thirdly and lastly, pray for your own spiritual needs, for power to transmute your failures and unconscious shortcomings, and especially to avoid the loss of equilibrium caused so often by the merest trivialities, which is such a source of despondency. Pray too that our desire for oneness with God may increase day by day, that your spiritual discernment may grow and all your fears disappear. Then, for the last time, send up your chalice. This can only be the barest outline of what the ritual of prayer may develop into for each of us. The exercise is the instrument by which we can have a mutual contact with God, our private telephone line, so to speak. How far He can help us and reveal Himself to us must, of necessity, depend on the quality of our desire. I would like to give this warning. The tendency to wandering thoughts is more clearly revealed by this exercise than by any other, and this makes us understand why prayer is such a weak and inoperative force in the world. As we discipline our thoughts, becoming more and more definite in our statement of need for ourselves and others, so can His power function more and more forcibly through us. And that's the end of Olive Pixley's Ritual of Light.